important in this line of topic. Personal development actually is just maximizing your personal growth. It's just a way where, a process where we come into a place where we are the best of ourselves. So if, for example, you don't speak well, you don't have good communication skills, you get to a point where you can communicate properly, you don't have gravitas the way you act, you get to a point where you learn all those skills to be able to act, you're kind, you're empathetic, you have feelings towards others, you're generous, you begin to have this elevated skills of helping other people. So why is self-care necessary for in this topic? Why is self-care? Why do we need self-care? And the reason why we need to talk about these things is because there is no way you can get to the peak of whatever you do, or that self-actualization, or you can maximize your potentials if you don't take care of yourself. And we notice a lot that a lot of women overwork. A lot of women do a lot of things just to keep things going. And especially with the fact that there's a lot of recession all over, people tend to stress, tend to worry, tend to, do things that are not really going to help them, and which takes a toll on the body. And if it takes a toll on the body, you can't really maximize yourself. You can't really grow personally. You can't be empowered, because it's only an empowered person that can empower others. It's only an empowered person that can really, really live life to the fullest. It's only an empowered person that can really, stay happy and stay fulfilled and that's the essence of everybody. Everybody wants to be fulfilled. Everybody wants to be happy. Everybody wants to say, I have lived my life fully. But you can't get to that point if you don't take care of yourself. So we're going to be talking about self-care in different perspectives now, not just in health. We're going to be talking, Dr. Moni is going to be talking to us about how we need to take care of ourselves as women, even as men, how we need to take care of ourselves, take care of our sleeping habits, our eating habits, exercise, diet. And I'm also going to be talking about how what you watch, what you hear, the inner circle, people that you allow into your space, how those things affect your health, affect your self-care. It's very, very important. It's not just what you eat. Sometimes just being around toxic people affects you. Sometimes watching movies that are not really elevating affects you. Sometimes just allowing what you hear affects your mindset. What you hear, what you get spoken, what people speak to you about, and what you speak about to other people affects your mindset. And if you have a fixed mindset, you can't grow. Your potential, you can elevate. So, Dr. Moni, you're welcome, and thank you for honoring my invitation. I appreciate it so much. And I also want to mention quickly that sometimes when you have people like me and you, we're now trying to get into an inner circle. We elevate each other. This is one of the things of self-care. You understand? We're the same coaching group. Now we become friends, and I know that very soon we'll become better, And of course, we can only grow from here, So the kind of friends you have, the kind of people that you associate with also determines to a large extent how you grow personally. So, Dr. Moni, can you please tell us how people usually affect or how neglecting their health in terms of maybe stress, not sleeping and things like that, how it affects us, and how the myths that are surrounded with these things that doesn't make us grow personally. So you can share with us so that people can learn.
Thank you so much, Dr. Omotola, for having me. I'm not sure I've told you before, I respect PhD doctors a lot, because it's not easy. It's not easy.
It's crazy.
To get a PhD.
That thing is a mental torture.
I know. So I mean, hats off, wigs off. I can't take off my wigs for obvious reasons. Hats off to you guys, as you're doing a fantastic job. I know.
It's crazy.
I know. So hello everyone. As been introduced, my name is Dr. Moni Adanijo. I'm a cardiologist, and I help people make practical lifestyle choices to improve their health for wellness and productivity. That productivity is what we're talking about today.
Exactly, yes.
Now, people tend to assume that the only reason why they should talk about their health is when they are sick. People tend to assume, oh, I'm okay, so I don't need to talk about health. I don't need a doctor until when maybe I can't walk. And it's really bad with we women, because we women, for some reason, we seem to have this superhero complex. We seem to think we're here to save the world. So everybody goes first before us. Our children are sick, we take them to hospital. We don't ask the doctor to check us. Our husbands are ill, we take them to hospital. We ignore what's going on with our bodies until it's too late. By the time you see a woman presenting at a hospital, you know that she's really, really ill. You know, she has taken care of everybody apart from herself. Now, I'm glad we're talking about mental care and the people we associate with, because that's also important. So I'll just stick to the physical health. Now,
Okay.
many times what we eat, how we sleep, how we don't sleep, how we use our bodies, tells on us, not immediately, years after, 5 years after, 4 years after. Now, imagine somebody who maybe in their 20s and 30s, they were always eating junk food, smoking, partying, drinking alcohol, swallowing all kinds of unnecessary pills, using skin lightening creams, all just to look fine. And then when they are in their mid-30s, or in their 40s, when they are supposed to now start enjoying all the hard work they've done in their 20s and 30s, they now come down with all kinds of problems. Migraines here and there. Their skin is funny. There's one funny cancer diagnosis somewhere. You are fainting up and down, or you are always tired. How can you be productive when your health is not optimal? How can you be productive when you're always in and out of hospital, palpitation today, headache tomorrow? And the truth is that it's so much easier to prevent all these problems, and it is so much cheaper. When you are ill or when you are not in excellent health, you cannot concentrate in the office. If you're a career person, you cannot concentrate in meetings. You will miss deadlines because you are not feeling fine. You understand? You will be sleeping at work because you didn't sleep at home. Or you are sleep deprived. You won't be able to concentrate. Your brain is foggy. Something that you're supposed to do easily like that, you can't, because your mind is all over the place because you haven't rested, because you didn't eat properly, because you're surviving on coffee and fumes. Okay? If you're a businesswoman, that's even worse. At least at work, you have colleagues to help you.
Yeah.
There's someone that can help you, pick up your slack. If you're a businesswoman and you are the CEO of your business and you can't even think, or you are so tired and you cannot go to the office for 3-4 days, your staff will have no guidance. They'll do what they like. Your customers will, so self-care. Your physical care of your physical self is extremely important. So how do we care for physical self? It's not just going to the salon and doing our hair and doing our manicure, pedicure. Yes, that's also great. But I'm talking about caring for the internal. Physical you. You need to care for your brain, because you use your brain to think. You need to care for your heart, because, if your heart is not working, then you are just dead. You understand? So, and it's interesting that the way to care for your physical body is the same, whether it's to prevent heart disease, to prevent brain problems, even to prevent cancer. It's the same thing. Daily exercise, healthy eating, drink a lot of water, avoid toxins. Toxins are alcohol, cigarettes, unnecessary medication, steroids, and things like that. And rest. Let me go over it again. Eating properly, sleeping, exercising every day, drinking water, and avoiding toxins. It is very simple. And it is so much cheaper. Imagine what it will cost you in productivity and profit. Even forget hospital bills. Productivity and profits when you're not well. Now, people always assume eating healthy means eating big food.
Yes. And that's a big issue with Africans.
People tell me I eat well. I can eat a tuber of yam. That's not eating well. That's not eating well. Eating well means,
That's
eating a
dangerous. That's
balance,
danger.
eating a balanced diet. Your balance must have a adequate amounts and quality, not just quantity. The quality and quantity of your carbohydrates, your protein, your fats, your minerals and vitamins, your vegetables, your fruits. Notice I said quantity and quality. Because there's some things you're eating that are bad quality. You understand? The quality is bad, the quantity is horrible, but it's still good. Exercise every day. People say, I don't have time to exercise. Okay,
Allow me
but you
arrive.
have time to go to hospital, Sha. Exercise is so fantastic. It prevents everything. Prevents brain damage, prevents Alzheimer's,
Please
prevents
also
cancer.
mention that exercise doesn't have to be very physical. Just ordinary jogging or walking is an exercise. Just explain that.
People, I'm getting to that. Now, people think you have to do one big thing. You have to go to the gym. All you need to do to exercise for health.
Just move
Exercise
your
for
body.
health.
Talk mental.
Walk for 30 minutes every day. Just walk. You don't even have to jog. Walk for 30 minutes. If you cannot walk because of safety, because there are sort of security concerns around,
Yeah.
you have CD.
You can walk in your compound.
Forget that people don't have compound. Put in CD, your favorite CD, and dance. Dance like nobody is watching. You know the kind of dance you dance that you don't even care whether people are in the room. Even if it's out of work, yeah, the music is going left, you are going right. It doesn't matter. You understand? Those of you that have children, your children are shouting, Mommy, come and play with us. You say, Junior, leave me, I'm tired. I'm watching TV. TV is a problem. Before I came on here, I was, talking to someone who was shocked that I've not watched TV in 2 years. And I asked him, why am I watching TV? What is inside the TV that is going to improve my personal growth or self-care?
Exactly.
I don't know. So, instead of watching television, follow your children. They want to play with you, Abby. Chase them around the house. You understand? Put in music. Kids love to dance. Dance with your children. It only takes 30 minutes. And you've exercised for the day. You sweat. When you dance vigorously, that's exercise. You don't need anything serious. You don't have to go and carry weight. You don't have to go and pay an expensive trainer.
Yes,
you don't
sir.
need all that. You understand? So that is important. Now, people seem to glorify lack of sleep. People say, oh, I wake up at 2 a.m. and I sleep at 12 midnight. I only have 2 hours of sleep every night. All these aspire to perspire people. While they are aspiring to perspire you, I hope they are paying for your hospital bills as well. Now, sleep deprivation has been shown to cause obesity, diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, brain problems. If you know you want to wake up, exactly. If you know you want to wake up at 4 a.m., sleep at 8 o'clock or sleep at 9 o'clock. Get your 7 to 6 hours of sleep. You need it so that your brain can even work in the morning. When I was in medical school, I was kind of like an odd man out because I couldn't read after 11 o'clock. All this one that people will sleep, wake up, and read overnight. I couldn't do it. People used to wonder, is this girl normal? It was so bad that I didn't even know where the reading room was when I was in medical school. My friend Zainab, hi Zainab, Zainab is on here. She was my roommate in medical school. And she used to look at me as in, Moni, are you okay? 11 o'clock, I've put off my lights. It's time to sleep. Even though we have exam the following day. Will I kill myself? It's the one when I sleep, whatever it is that is in my brain, I'll remember it in the morning. But if I stay awake, that one that you'll be reading till 4 a.m. Yes, Zainab, Zainab was my roommate. She's a plastic surgeon, by the way.
Zainab?
Zainab Unisa Kaltungo, yeah, she's a plastic surgeon, very brilliant lady.
Hello, how are you? Welcome.
So as in, if I don't sleep and I follow them and I read until 5, some people will read until 5 a.m., bath and go to the exam hall. For me, that's basically for recipe for destruction. I won't remember anything. So when you sleep, it helps your brain arrange the information that is there. And people tell me, oh, I don't sleep before 12. And I generally ask them, what do you do between when you get home? Then she sleeps like crazy and will still
And
beat
still
her
beat us.
skull.
You must be very brilliant.
No, because I sleep. You see, that's the secret. When you read a bit and then you sleep, the small thing you read gets baked into your brain. You don't get confused.
It ruminates. Yes. Yeah.
Exactly. So by the time you get to the exam hall, it's clear. You remember everything. You don't have to be, everything is not jumbled up in your mind. You
True.
get.
True.
And I ask people, what do you do from the time you get home till when you sleep at 12 o'clock or 1 a.m.? And people say different things. Oh, I watch TV. I catch up on social media. And I'm like, that's why you're not sleeping.
It's a waste of time. Waste of time.
That's why you're not sleeping. Between you and I, there's no time to watch TV. I get home at 6 p.m. By the time I make dinner, bond with my family. Okay, how was your day? I have teenagers. I have to talk to them. How was your day? What happened in school today?
Exactly.
Have you done your homework? Husband, how are you? How was your day? Did the meeting go well? Are we rich now? Have the clients paid? By the time you do all that, it's 9 o'clock. I'll now put on TV and be watching Maria and Ronaldo and some funny people. Let me just go and sleep. So tomorrow morning I'm up by 4.
Already.
As in, so sleep is extremely important. And then water is underrated. People claim they don't like the taste of water. And I'm like, water has no taste. So there's nothing not to like. Drink water. Thank you. Thanks for the reminder.
Water is very, very important.
So you know that your body is made up of 70% water, right?
Yeah.
Your body is mostly water. And you think you can replace water with Coca-Cola or replace water with soda. And I always ask people, can you water your plants with soda?
No.
When you have a plant in your house, can you open a bottle of soda and pour it on the plant? What's going to happen? The plant will die.
It will die.
I'm like, so why are you not thinking that you are also a living thing and you need water? Now, you need at least 3 liters of water every day. And that's a lot of water. It helps everything. Helps your brain, helps your kidneys, helps your heart, clarifies your skin.
Yeah.
I'm not using filter. I don't have powder on. So this is me. Makes your skin clear. You understand? So water is fantastic. So I think let me just stop there and maybe you can answer some questions in the comments or ask me yours.
Okay, so you've talked about eating properly. You've talked about sleeping, avoiding toxins, and exercise. So these are the medical things, like in terms of health, medical things we can do to prevent us from getting sick. So what we are really talking about today is not necessarily about curative medical care. We are talking about preventive measures. How do you keep yourself whole? How do you keep yourself mentally, psychologically, emotionally, physically whole? And there's so many aspects to this: your diet, your exercise, your body movement, your mental health, and all of that. And Dr. Moni has talked about 4 things: eating properly, sleeping, avoiding toxins, and all of that. So I'm going to ask questions later, but let me just say this. I was reading somewhere, was it the day before yesterday, and there was this video also that I watched that said, the lady was saying that our body usually tells us when there's an emergency. It usually tells us. Our body is extremely intelligent. So sometimes you might just have a headache, or you might just have a cramp somewhere, or you might just have a pain somewhere. Your body is telling you something. If it persists, then you have to go see a doctor. Or sometimes you just have to find out what that symptom is telling you. So many people have died just by ignoring symptoms. So many people have died just because of things or ailments that they could have avoided, that could have been curable, or that could have been treatable. Do you understand? So, and I know that a lot of people, because of the cost of medical care, they avoid going to the hospital, or they avoid going to the pharmacist, or seeing somebody that is competent enough to check them, to check what is wrong with them. So sometimes most people should understand that our bodies are been made by God in such a way that it will give us vital indications when it's falling apart. A migraine, a pain in the back, or something. Something will just tell you something is wrong. As a matter of fact, there was someone that I know. He had a very terrible headache for 2 3 days, and then he started having, I think, shoulder muscle pulls. And by the time he went to the hospital, they told him that if he hadn't come into the hospital, he would have died in another 6 hours. And what had happened? Something had ruptured in his brain or something. I think he had a blood. I don't know what they
A
call it.
blood clot in his
A clot
brain,
in his
yes.
brain.
Yeah.
So they had to do a surgery, and he was in the hospital for 6 good months. And I know that in the Nigerian medical,
Wow.
it was in the hospital for 6 months. He had to do rehabilitative care and things like that. He couldn't walk. He couldn't. And I personally had and that was one of the reasons why I'm a little bit more visible this year. I was on Instagram, I think far back as 2 3 years ago, but because of my line of work, it's extremely hectic. Academia is crazy. And then in
I know.
2019, I fell sick. I felt very sick. And the sickness was just that I knew it was a fibroid. I knew I had a fibroid for a long time, but I just didn't know what to do. This different people tell you different things. They can do this, they can do that. And I was just like, okay, since it's not it's not life threatening, I can manage it. And then it got to a point where I was just not feeling okay. I was bleeding too much and all of that. So eventually I had to go to see a gynecologist. And the gynecologist told me that we have to do a hysterectomy. And I was like, no, I'm not doing a hysterectomy. I'm too young for a hysterectomy. Hysterectomy is like when they take out the whole womb. And I'm like, no, that's not even an option. What else can you do? Then I said they can do what's this other thing? When they drill you,
Myomectomy. Remove the fibroid.
but they
Remove the
drill
fibroids
you.
one by one.
They myectomy, but there's this thing they do without opening you up at all.
It's called keyhole surgery.
What's it called?
Laparotomy. Keyhole
Laparotomy, yeah,
surgery or
lapara something,
laparotomy.
something. They said they were going to do that and all of that. So I was like, okay, just hold on. Let me weigh my options and all of that. Hysterectomy, and no. At the end of the day, they now found out that if I didn't do the surgery, it was going to lead to a tumor. It was going to grow into a tumor. And then eventually I had to do a myectomy, a lapara, whatever. And for 3 good months, I wasn't okay. So I was just thinking to myself, what if I just ignored this? This thing could have killed me. I could have bled to death, or something could have happened to me. And that just made me realize that a lot of us just take the signals, take these things, and just, we're not very serious about it. And these things end up killing us if we're not really very careful. Mm-hmm. And during my time in the hospital, I just made up my mind, because I knew that I was between life and death. I just made up my mind that 2020, 2021, I was going to live my life. I was going to take care of myself. This one that I will be carrying family before myself, I'm not doing that one. I'm going to enjoy my life. Anyway, that's just, so it's a personal thing. That's why I now decided, okay, let's talk about this before we can even talk about self-actualization, growth, wealth, creating money, doing online business. Your health is the most important thing. Your health is extremely important. So now, if I need a vacation, I go. If I need to get out of the house, I need I do. If I need to sleep, I sleep. If I don't want to cook, I order food, or I tell somebody to cook for me and send it to the house. So these are the things that I want us to talk about, so that people can understand that once we go, we go. And other people, even the children that we are saying we don't want to do that, they will also take care of themselves. They will cry for maybe 2 months, 3 months.
Let me tell you something. The turning point for me was when some years ago I lost a very good friend. Mm-hmm. I lost a very good friend to breast cancer, and she was quite young. She was in her 30s. So we were at the church, and she had a 2-year-old son. Her casket, you know how it is in church. The casket is in the middle, and the pastor is talking. We're singing hymns.
Jeez.
Her son was running up and down the aisle. He would crawl under the casket, come out, and was playing peekaboo. I now looked at this young man, and I was like, see life. His mom is lying in that casket, and the boy is playing.
How old is he? He doesn't even know.
He was 2. So So if you just die, if you mistakenly just die anyhow, this is how everybody will move on. And you are the one that...
3 months.
It was
so... I'm not even
so...
saying 3 months. 3 days.
I cried extra. Yes, I was sad that my friend died. But, you see, that sight struck me. And I was like, at a point, I couldn't even listen to whatever the pastor was saying. I was just thinking, so this boy does not even know his mother is dead. He's just playing on his own. It's the woman that is gone. So all this, hey, I will not eat because I'm carrying everybody on my head. You know, women, I'm yet to meet a woman. Please, if there's any married woman with kids, or even if you're not married,
if you're not
and you
married,
have kids on this live, is there any of you that when you want to dish food, you dish your own first? Please let me know. If there's any, even you, me, we don't dish our food first. It's when everybody has eaten and everybody is full. And if the food has finished, we'll drink garri and sleep. Or we eat bread and sleep.
Or take a snack and sleep.
Or take a snack. So people are saying no. Please, if you dish your food first, you're a family lady or you have kids, if you dish your food first, please let us know in the comments, you know. So, so the best way to love your family is to take care of yourself so that you can be present to love them for as long as you can.
And be present with them. Yeah.
You cannot neglect yourself and say you are loving your family, because when you go, the family you claim to love will be taken over by somebody else.
Exactly.
And that's just the reality.
Exactly.
Somebody else will be the one taking care of your kids. And trust me, nobody can take care of your kids like you. There's nothing anybody can say. No matter how nice the lady is, you understand, she's not you. She cannot love your kids like you would. So you need to take care of yourself.
Thank you. So let's just say, let me just give, or maybe let's talk about practical things that we can do to ensure that people also are mindful of their self-care while personally growing. One of the things is to get insurance, to get medical insurance. A lot of women don't know about this, or a lot of girls. You don't even have to wait till you're married. As a single girl, you can get or a single guy, you can get a medical insurance just to secure your medical bills. And I'm talking about Nigeria, Africa, and here. I'm not even talking about America. I'm talking about people in South Africa. You can get medical insurance. Medical insurance is very prevalent now. And I know there's some apps also that you can join, or you can subscriptions that you can do, that you can get virtual consulting in terms of your medical.
Okay.
And I know you're doing something like that too.
I'd like to chip in something. Health insurance is fantastic.
Very.
But you need to know the terms and conditions of a health insurance.
Okay.
Some health insurance don't cover anything. They only cover malaria and typhoid. Once you move away from malaria, they'll tell you nothing is covered. It's not covered. This is not covered. Now, when you are 30 and above, you need to make sure your health insurance covers chronic care.
Okay.
Because when you're 30 and above, then, it's more likely you develop hypertension, diabetes, and things like that. You need to make sure that your health insurance covers chronic care. Your health insurance covers eye care.
Eye care.
Your glasses.
Okay.
Your health insurance covers dental work, even if you just extraction and cleaning and polishing.
Just cleaning, yeah.
Even if that is just it. So it's easy to just say buy health insurance, but you need to read the fine print, because a lot of people show up at my clinic, oh, we have health insurance. Nothing is covered. You cannot see, even if you have hypertension.
What of this NHIS that the federal government gives to them? The NHIS.
Don't let's discuss NHIS. Don't let's discuss NHIS, please. It's not in the scope of this conversation. So, as I was saying,
because I used to hear, I have NHIS.
NHIS works in the government setting. Okay. It's not very useful in private. So NHIS is good when you're going to government hospitals.
Okay.
Now, I've had people come to my clinic who are in who are hypertensive or diabetic or whatever.
Okay.
Their health insurance does not cover specialist care. So I ask them, I ask the HMO, so you want a hypertensive patient to be taken care of by a GP, at least let her see the cardiologist once. If you say, okay, see the endocrinologist or the cardiologist or the neurologist or whatever specialist once, and then follow up with the GP, that's different. So the specialist would have just, put the patient together and the GP can continue. But for you to say no specialist consult at all, yet the person is on health insurance. And then there's lots of drama. People are angry in my reception. They are screaming at my staff.
So what do you suggest?
Honestly, you need to ask questions. When you want to buy health insurance, you need to ask. Nigerians, we don't ask questions. You need to ask questions. What does this insurance cover? Does it cover chronic care? Does it cover maternity? If I have kids, will it cover my children's immunization? Does it cover dental? Does it cover eye care? And then they'll tell you, oh, it does not. But if you want this, then add some more money. It's better for you to pay for your health insurance.
Asking a question. How about AXA?
I'm not discussing personal HMOs.
Okay.
They are not paying me to come and discuss them on live. So
okay.
I don't know.
Okay, which insurance company would you recommend for health? Okay, anyway, you can talk to her in a DM. You can DM her.
None.
With her.
I'm not doing this on air. They should come and pay for influencing.
Do you know that in South Africa we have a special insurance for cancer? If you want to do cancer care, there's a special insurance for that. If you want to do eye care, there's special insurance for that. That if you want to do what else, palliative, whatever, there's so different types of insurance for different types of things.
So that's why you need to ask.
That women have to be empowered. People have to be empowered, have money to be able to take care of yourself. This insurance might look expensive now, but by the time those things come, you find out that it's been penny wise, pound foolish if you don't have insurance.
Exactly.
So that's why we must.
And especially if you need specialized care, it's cheaper for you to be on insurance than to pay out of pocket. All over the world, it's cheaper to see a specialist on insurance than to pay from your pocket. You understand? I've had to see doctors abroad. And when I was hearing the bills, I was like, seriously? Pardon?
It's crazy.
Pardon? It's crazy.
It's crazy.
I was like, I need to rethink my bill when I get to Lagos, so because this is madness. And they won't even listen to you. As in the other one, I'm from Africa, and so therefore, what's their problem? You won't even be talking to the specialist. You'll be talking to the assistant.
They have the money.
No, that's why. No, because even in Nigeria, right, we're not as expensive as seeing private consultants in America and the UK. However, it's still relatively more expensive to see a private doctor and pay out of pocket than to have health insurance. You understand?
Yeah.
And please buy a health insurance that does medical checkup for you. Please. Some health insurance do annual physical compulsory for all their enrollees. That's the one you should buy. The one that will call you and be chasing you around town. Have you done your annual health insurance? Your annual physical
checkup.
Yes, that is more important than waiting till you are sick and then going to hospital to go and spend insurance money.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us assume, oh, because I'm well, then I don't have to go to the hospital, because doctors tell lies. Someone said here just that she doesn't trust Nigerian insurance. Well, if you live in Nigeria, I don't know how you want to be paying for medical bills if you don't trust Nigerian insurance, because there are good insurance companies in Nigeria and they are helping people.
Yeah.
Thank you. You see, even abroad, you need to ask questions. You need to ask.
Do your due diligence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
the time for there has to be a paradigm shift in the way we think, and that's the reason why I like the fact that we're now in the knowledge economy. You have to begin to ask questions. You can't just say they said this is. There's internet. There is Google. There are people that are knowledgeable about this thing. There are coaches, health coaches. There are fitness people. Ask questions. I noticed that for a lot of Nigerians or for a lot of Africans, we have problems in doing research, just basic research, so that we can come to a logical decision before we can make a logical decision, an informed decision. before you do something, or if you need something and information, do your research. Go through Google, go through the internet, read books, ask questions, and then when you have this full information, then you can decide. So you know that if you want to take care of yourself, insurance is important. Then you find out what types of insurance, what does this, what does this, what does this. So the ignorance is not an excuse. And this is one of the things I also coach people about. We have to become intellectual. The time has gone where people will just be doing things anyhow. This is the time for excellence. This is the time where people have to wake up their mental capacities if you want to enjoy your life. You know, you can't just see people enjoying their lives on Instagram and say you want to be like that, and you are not doing the work, the inner work, the outer work, what it takes for you to be able to enjoy your life also. So that's why I'm having this talk, because my mission is to elevate people's lives, to allow them to thrive in their careers and in their personal lives. And how can you thrive except you begin to ask questions, you begin to thrive towards knowing and making informed decisions. So one other thing that I also noticed was that I read it on a journal that says heart disease is the leading cause of death on the planet. I don't know how true that is. That heart disease has to do with a lot of other complications, cholesterol. There was even a time I was reading about bad fats, good fats, polysaccharides, and all of that. That's another topic for another day. But heart disease is the leading cause of death on the planet. And I want you to just, in 1 minute, just explain this and how people can be conscious that this is a pandemic on its own.
Heart disease, even with COVID.
Yeah.
Even with COVID, heart disease kills
Dr.
more
Yabo,
people.
thank you. Dr. Yabo is saying hello.
Hello, Dr. Yabo. So heart disease kills more people than cancer. People find it strange when they hear that.
When I was doing my research, I was surprised.
Now, every year, according to World Health Organization, so this is not like something my neighbor told me, verifiable statistics from World Health Organization states that every year, 18 million people die worldwide from cardiovascular disease. 18 million. And most of these deaths are in low and middle income countries like Nigeria.
Like South Africa.
Now, so all these people that are sleeping and not waking up, that people are saying is village people, is cardiovascular disease. All these people that slump on their steering is cardiovascular disease. All these people that were giving speeches and then they faint and die is cardiovascular disease. All these people with stroke is cardiovascular disease. Heart attack, heart failure, everything is cardiovascular disease. It kills more people than cancer. As in, it's verifiable. You don't believe me? Google it.
Yeah, I saw
leading cause of death all over the world.
Yeah,
is cancer.
Yeah.
Sorry, is heart disease.
Heart disease.
More than cancer. More than cancer. But there's so much noise about cancer, HIV, AIDS. Nobody talks about heart disease. Do you know why?
Why?
Because cancer gives you pain. Cancer is painful. There's an ugly lump somewhere. It disfigures you. You know, HIV makes you skinny. You fall sick. You have a rash. Heart disease, you'll be looking like me and you, looking fine. Until you just call, oh, I haven't heard from XYZ in a while. Oh, he died in his sleep. Oh, he was coming to work and then he slumped, you know, on the steering. Oh, he had a stroke 2 weeks ago. Oh, I'm telling you.
So it's a silent killer.
And good. And then of these 18 million deaths, 80% of these deaths can be prevented. So I'm not sure what 80% of 18 million is, but let's just say it's about 15 million, 12 million. So out of 18 million people, 80% of them could have been saved if only they had practiced preventive health. I mean, we need to think about that. 18 million people die. But that number could reduce by 80% if we practice preventive cardiology, preventive healthcare. We do our health checks. We exercise. We eat properly. This thing is so easy. You know, sometimes I feel like pulling out my hair. I'm like, what is so hard in exercising and eating vegetable? It's not difficult. Do we have to eat horrible things? But people are like, oh, doctor, you have come again. Let's enjoy ourselves. Okay. All right. But it's really painful, you know, that people just think doctors want to take their money. I find
Yeah,
that
and that's the
strange.
mentality. They feel that doctors just want to, suck them
Do you
dry.
know that? Let me tell you, it is cheap. It is better for me for you to come to me with heart failure than for you to come for a health check in my clinic. Because if you come with heart failure, your bill is 10 times higher than if you come for a health check. So it doesn't pay me business wise for me to do health check for you. It's better for me to leave you. When you get heart failure, then come. Then I'll, you understand? Yes. So this idea of doctor wants to take our money is wrong.
People have to begin to change
We're
their
trying
mindset.
to help. Honestly, everybody's, for some reason, people like to listen to people they shouldn't listen to.
Yes.
People would rather take health advice from their neighbor who is a plumber or who is a carpenter than from me. If I need academic advice, I'll come to you.
Exactly. You go to the person that has expertise in what you are
If I
looking
want to
for.
decide if I should do a PhD after my fellowship, I'll talk to you, Dr. Omotola, please. This PhD, is it working? But instead, I'll go and ask my neighbor who sells lace in the market. What does she know about a PhD? She can't advise me. She'll be like, doctor, go and do PhD. You will know plenty book. I'll get there and I'll get stuck. And I'll be like, oh my God, what did I ask? A better person. The same thing with healthcare. People still get health information from WhatsApp messages till tomorrow. Why would you go with something someone sent to you on WhatsApp? Or what you heard in the commercial vehicle?
Yeah.
Or you overheard somebody saying it in the market?
Those things will begin to change. The more we talk about it, things will begin to change. The more we talk about things will begin to change. Thank you, Dr. Moni, for everything, because I want us to finish at exactly 1 hour so that we don't bore too many people. So we've heard everything Dr. Moni has said. It's extremely important that we take care of ourselves. And heart disease is a silent killer. It kills people without warning. And it manifests in different forms. High blood pressure, heart attacks, high cholesterol levels, and different things. And there's so much information out there. And if you need help, you can also talk to Dr. Moni to help you and with regards your health with that respect. I also want to talk about something that many people don't talk about. When it comes to self-care also has to do with your mind, has to do with the people that you surround. I just want to talk about that quickly. People you surround yourself with. Talk about people you allow into your space. Talked about, it also refers to people, how you feel about yourself. You understand your self-esteem is also self-care. So for example, yesterday I was a little bit emotional, I was a little bit down, and this comes from my personality, because some people are melancholic, some people are choleric and all of that. So melancholic people tend to just get mood swings unnecessarily, which I am extremely melancholic. Something will just trigger in my brain, and then I begin to overanalyze, and then I get into those mood swings, and it's so difficult for me to drag myself out. But because I'm conscious about my personality weakness, so I try to drag myself out of it. And how do I do that? So one of the things that I do is, whenever I'm having this mood swings, or whenever I'm feeling a little bit sad or overwhelmed or things like that, I take my bath, go to the mirror, put a little bit of makeup on, put on some music, dance, and put on a nice dress. Even if I'm not going out, I'll try and go out. Even if I'm not going out, I'll take a walk and just make myself feel good. So these are some of the things that you do for self-care. If you have a family or you have a child that is disturbing you, or that you are very overwhelmed, why don't you delegate? You can delegate and say, or you can ask for help. Please, can you please help me take care of these children? I just need a little bit of fresh air. I need a little bit of space to be able to just get myself. Go out, do something, and then come back to the child. But a lot of women, or a lot of even men too, they put a lot of things in their hearts and don't have ways of expressing it. And talking to people too also helps. And that's why people have to have coaches. Your coach doesn't necessarily have to be expensive. Your friendship doesn't have to be expensive. Look for people to talk to. People that will give you, that would help you pour out your emotions and things like that. So this is extremely important. The people that we surround ourselves with, are they people that are narcissistic? Are they people that are toxic? Are they people that gossip? Are they people that just don't see anything positive in the world? Those things can affect your mental, psychological health. You have to be very careful. It's even a matter of I don't even know how to say it. It's a matter of
intentionality.
Once I see that you're a negative person like this, once I feel negative
Delete.
immediately, I don't even negotiate it. It's something that I don't negotiate. And that's one of the things that has kept me and has made me to really achieve the things I've been able to achieve. I don't put those kind of people in my circle at all. I walk away. And when I'm in with a group of friends and they start gossiping, I take my bag, I go away. I don't put on. And a lot of things that young girls too, I want to tell a lot of young girls, the things you watch also matters. Watching African Magic and watching all this, I don't know, I don't want to be too, but things that you watch.
I get you.
The things that we watch, the things that they watch on African Magic, on YouTube, it affects your psyche, it affects your mindset. So if you want to grow and become somebody that has come to a level of self-actualization, you want to go to maximize your potential, you want to become somebody that people can come and become a person of value, people can come to you and learn from you, and you surround yourself with these things that won't make you become better, it's going to affect you. So self-care is also knowing the things that you need to delete out of your lives, all these movies, all these things that you and the people you surround yourself with, what you hear, the music you hear, the words you hear, all of these things. So for example, sometimes if I want to uplift my spirit, I listen to messages, I listen to things that will uplift my spirit. I listen to books by what's his name? Tracy. There's this
Brian Tracy.
Yes, Tracy.
Brian Tracy.
But yes, I listen to books like that. I listen to messages on YouTube. Things that will elevate your spirit. So these are some of the things that we can do also to take care of ourselves if we want to really grow personally, if we want to really grow to the highest level that we want to become. One thing that I usually tell people, and I always ask people whenever I go for conferences or whenever I talk to people, is, what do you think at the end of your years you would regret? What are the things that you think you would regret? Because that's one of the questions that makes us self-discovery questions. What are the things that you think that if you don't do these things, you will regret in your life? And for me, my greatest regret will be if I don't maximize the best of what God has given me, if I don't become the fullest of who I can be. That will be my greatest regret. So for example, if God wants me to, or if God has given me the capacity to become somebody that can influence hundreds of thousands of people, and I just influence just my daughter and maybe some of our friends, and later on I see that I had the capacity, all I needed to do was just to grow, to be able to influence those kind of people, but because of the limiting things that I've surrounded myself with, I couldn't do it. That would be my greatest regret. I don't know, for some other people it might be because but for me, that's it. And that's why people that are around me, I always try and elevate them. Think better, think better. Just think that you can do more, you can become more. If that is not what you want, it's fine. But if God has put that seed in you, it has to grow. It has to grow. So we have just 6 more minutes. Anybody with any questions? Then we can ask the questions within 5 minutes and then we leave. Dr. Zainab says repressed emotions don't go away. They'll find a way to manifest themselves if not properly dealt with. Yes, and that's true. A lot of people
And you know that sometimes repressed emotions show as physical illness.
True. You won't be
they
happy.
Show up as
you won't be happy.
See, I have seen patients with migraines, palpitation, their heart's beating fast. I've seen patients with their body will just be weak. You don't know why you are always tired. Do you understand? I've seen patients with, they always have colds, always have catarrh all the time. By by the time you unpack everything,
You
at the
see that they have an
bottom
issue.
is an emotional problem. I'm telling you.
And that's why people also have to people have to also know that you can approach a coach if you're having emotional problems, psychological problems, marital problems, any kind of problems. There's always help that you can seek to become the best person that God has made you to be. You don't need to suffer in silence. You don't need to suffer in silence. I see a lot of women that are just so bitter, so bitter in serious bitterness. Bitterness in the sense that you are living your life. They are bitter because you are living your life to the fullest, and they cannot take that courage. They cannot take the chances that you are taking. You know, and it's because you've decided you want to take care of yourself. You want to live life. You understand? But they have not decided because this thing comes with sacrifice. So if you don't get to that point where you really know what you want and you want to do what it takes for you to get what you want, we're still playing. So yeah. Let me see the other questions. I don't think there. Do you notice any other questions here?
Okay, yes. So someone said ulcer symptoms. Exactly. Even ulcer symptoms sometimes is due to psychological problems.
Ulcer.
And that's why some people, yes, sometimes. And that's why some people will tell you, oh, I've seen a lot of doctors and they can't find what's wrong with me. So it's a spiritual problem.
Wow.
Sis, it's not spiritual problem. It's mind issue.
That mind thing is a problem.
And then because once Nigerians hear mind, they just think, yeah, she's saying I'm crazy. They'll run away. They'll keep going from doctor to doctor. Once they hear mind, they'll be like, no, I'm not crazy. Nobody's saying you're crazy.
The mindset issue is a real big issue for us. And until we change our mindsets, we can't grow.
It will be hard, though. It will be hard.
Thank you, everyone.
Especially among Africans.
It's an African problem. And that's why when people get away from Africa, you see that their mind exposure makes your mind blossom. Exposure makes your mind grow. You just begin to see things in a different perspective just because you are now in a different environment. You just see that normal things, these are normal things. The things that we used to associate with village people or associate with this one. You just see that things are not that way. And that's why I always encourage people, if you can travel. Go away from your limiting environment. Travel. If you want to go to school abroad, come.
See, I even tell people, don't even leave the country. If you live in a certain area, go to where rich people live. See that there's another life apart from your own. Stay there. Look at how they are driving. Look at how they are talking. I'm telling you, your mind you will just elevate. You don't even have to enter plane. That one is plenty money.
Just carry motor from Ojuelegba to Lekki. Go to Lekki. Just spend 6 hours. Go there. Another day, go there again. You see different.
Let me tell you, sis. The first time I entered Banana Island, I could not press my horn because I was like, "Why are you pressing horn? Do you hear anybody pressing horn?" Yeah. I was just driving slow. I was like, "Hey, this is where rich people live." I couldn't press my horn. I was like, hey, see all the people, how they were walking their dog. The dogs there, they are not malnourished dogs. Fine dogs, everybody looking creamy. I was like, hey, God, see all these people. Even the person that I went to go and visit, I was like, see this your estate. I couldn't even shout. Those who know me know I make a lot of noise. I was just talking quietly because nobody there was shouting. You understand? And in my mind, I was like, the people living here, do they have two heads? How can somebody buy land here? When I heard about the cost of land, I was like, okay, I'll come back. But you know what I mean? You can't just stay in your box and assume, oh, yes, because you are the king of Ojuelegba, so that's where it ends. I'm telling you, I know, you are laughing. Oh, I couldn't, as soon as I entered the place, nobody was pressing horn. Nobody was shouting. Everywhere was quiet. I was like, hey, these rich people.
Thank
They
you.
won't kill me.
Thank you so much, Dr. Moni. That was so nice. That was really nice. And I hope our viewers, our audience, they enjoy themselves. You know, I hope they enjoy themselves while they also learned. And was very educating. It was informative, and it was also entertaining. Thank you so much. I hope we'll do this sometime soon. And
We definitely will. There's so much to talk about.
there's so much to talk about. So thank you so much. Don't let us bore them. Thank you so much. We're going to have the replay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming up with me. Bless you and have a wonderful week, everyone. Have a wonderful week, Dr.
Thank you. You
God bless
too.
you.
Take care.
Bye.
Take care, Dr. Omotola. Bye.